seen on TV shows or in movies where people are being portrayed as blind. Or we might even know someone who is blind, like in my case, my grandpa, who's diagnosed with retinitis pigmentosa. But what we don't know is how those people feel about being blind and the disease process that they've had to go through. Retinitis pigmentosa causes blindness, which can cause an individual to feel lost and unable to carry on a full life, or they can embrace it and actually use it to their benefit. With RP, it is a gradual deterioration of the retina, so there are different stages of the disease that can cause different feelings and emotions towards it. When the disease begins and starts progressing, the person will begin by losing their night vision, and then they actually get to a tunnel vision, which can start the process of the person to begin to feel inadequate or lost. Looking Through a Keyhole, a memoir by Julia Spencer, carries you on her journey of going through the disease of RP and losing her vision. She gets to the point where she starts having that tunnel vision, and she begins to feel like her body's betraying her, and she starts actually having a lack of trust that anyone would actually be there for her, and therefore isolates herself from anyone. But this is how a lot of people feel during this stage, and a study was actually conducted on young adults going through this and looked at their self-concept of themselves. The majority of these people had the characteristics of either social isolation, withdrawal, depressive symptoms, and honestly, a natural self-concept. But they also had a lowered family self-concept, and felt as though they could not contribute whatsoever to their families. This is the way a lot of people feel during the beginning of the disease, because they don't know what's going on, and they don't want to accept it. But as the disease progresses, people can either start feeling worse about themselves, or they can start feeling better. As the disease progresses, the individual will go from that tunnel vision to eventually going to complete blindness, which can cause the person feel as though they'll actually live in a life of darkness, or at this time they can embrace it and continue on with life. Charles Warnorth wrote an article that explained the fact that he went through RP and was going blind. He talks about still needing help from time to time, and this creates a tension inside of him, and he overreacts. He says that he has been working on this for 12 years and still feel like he will never be able to get over this. And this is how a lot of people can live in that life of darkness, because they isolate themselves from other people because they don't want to ask for that help, or better yet, accept the help that they actually need. However, with that being said, there are also those people who have embraced it, like my grandpa. When he went completely blind from RP, he embraced it and continued on with his life. He stated that even though this has happened to him, he doesn't want it to change his life, or better yet, who he is as a person. And there are many people like this who want to embrace it, whether it's during the stage of going completely blind, or even later on in life after they live with the disease. But later on in life, after the person has lived with it, they can either change their perspective, or they can keep it the same. I mentioned earlier Julia Spencer, who at that time, she was going through that tunnel vision, and how she was so distrustful of people and isolated herself. Well, today, she has changed that. She no longer isolates herself, but actually uses the disease and the obstacles that she has been through to help others around her. I also mentioned my grandpa, who embraced it right from the get-go. He still embraces it to this day, and still does not let it change who he is. So as you can see, people who have a disease such as RP, they can have all different feelings about it and the process that it takes them on. So whether they feel lost and unable to carry on a full life, or they've embraced it and didn't let it change who they were, it just shows the difference in how people deal with the disease, such as RP. But hopefully, I've been able to show you how RP can affect someone and how they have to deal with it. And maybe, just maybe, you will be able to see the emotions behind those eyes.